society. Today on Open Conversation, we'll look at first, Edoguba. PDP slams Oshomole, calls his administration most corrupt. And then on to Zamfara State, APC faults Lawal's claims on fertilizer distribution. And on presidency, Tinubu pledges to tolerate dissenting voices. On 13% derivation, concerns of misappropriation by governors. And on Nnamdi Kanu, Ohaneze Ndigbos blames Southeast governors for EPA's rascality. On politics, Atiku questions federal government on Ajib deal. We are open for advert placements, bookings, and commercials. You can connect with us on all our ATN socials, Facebook and YouTube, Atlantic Television Network, Instagram and TikTok, Atlantic TV Network 1, and on Twitter, Atlantic TV Net. Watch us live on our website, www.atlanticnetwork.tv. We'll go on a short break. When we come back, we'll delve right into the show. Do not go away. Welcome back and thank you for staying with us. Joining me on Open Conversation this morning is Nze O. Nze. Nze O. Nze is a socio-political analyst and he prides himself as man of the people. Good morning, Nze.
The
and welcome
advocate of the people.
The advocate, yes. Good morning and welcome to
Good
Open
morning.
Conversation.
Thank you very much.
And
Happy New Week.
I wish you the same. Thank you. And I also have with me Churchill, Honorable Churchill Wale, a politician. Good morning, Honorable Churchill.
Good morning.
And welcome. Thank you very much and welcome to Open Conversation. And on to the story. People's Democratic Party has berated Senator Adams Oshomole, leader of the All Progressive Congress in Edo State, and Senator representing Edo North, over his unabated criticism of Governor Godwin Obaseki's administration, challenging him to name areas his administration performed better than that of Obaseki. Speaking at a press conference on Sunday, the Deputy Director, Media, Aswe Yigodalo Osarodion Oge, Governorship Campaign Council, Reverend Olu Martins, said Oshomole's administration has been one of the most corrupt, chaotic, and most dishonest of all administration that has ruled Edo State. Olu Martins challenged Oshomole to pinpoint areas his own administration performed more than Obaseki's administration. He said, as we approach the September 21 election, it is apparently clear that the All Progressive Congress, as led by their leader, Comrade Adams Oshomole, has perfected the acts of falsehood even at that age. The All Progressive Congress has been pretending as if to say it has never been in power in Edo State. All we hear from their mouth is that Obaseki did this, Obaseki did that. But from 2008 to 2016, we had the leadership of Comrade Adam Oshomole as governor of Edo State, and it is important to do an analysis on how the state fared under the administration of Adam Oshomole and the leadership of Godwin Obaseki. Fortunately, I was prominent in the civil society, and I can tell you clearly what the experiences were. The administration as led by Oshomole was the most corrupt, most chaotic, most brutal, and was the most dishonest. I remember once Senator Femi Okunremi was going around the nation in consultation for the proposed national conference by President Goodluck Jonathan. They were at the Emmaguere College at Comrade Adams Oshomole as the governor came there to grandstand. But he was confronted, and before you know it, some boys had moved in, led by one of the youth leaders, and scattered chairs right in front of the mobile policemen brought in from Abuja and other neighboring states to protect Senator Okunremi and those in his entourage. We also remembered the time when the Nigerian Labour Congress, led by Emmanuel Ademokun, protested at the Palm House that has been reconstructed, and he was beaten blue and black. And the next day, he had plaster on his head, beaten by a former national president of Nigerian Labour Congress. And that tells you what Oshomole did when he was the governor of Edo State. There was no protest we held that we were not beaten. With Oshomole as the governor of Edo State, if it were not the youth leader, it will be his brother. For us, it was a surprising thing to us because for Adams Oshomole, who built a reputation with constant confrontation of the government as the NLC president, a former commissioner for information in the administration of Adams Oshomole, and now the APC director of media and publicity, Orobosa Omojo, in his book, The Breach of Trust, said that Adams Oshomole is good at picking weaker vessels in the place of stronger people for his administration. I mean, that's a lot. That's a lot coming from the opposition slamming Adams Oshomole. But let me start with you, Nze. What do you make of this story and the bickering between APC and PDP in Edo State ahead of the Edo Guba elections?
I think, to me, they are playing simple Nigerian style of politics.
All right.
Which, to an extent, is not good for us. Because you know, politics of name calling, politics of fault finding, and all that. In as much as I am not from Edo State, neither am I living in Edo State, but we are not completely out of what is happening within the circle of the nation. Now, nobody can match Adams Oshomole with that administration, with that of Obaseki. Based on what we knew, what we had, what we saw maybe on the pages of newspaper and television screens and all that, you see that Adams Oshomole, by his own administration, which he took over from Lucky Benedium, performed creditably well. Okay. Now that Obaseki is trying to, compare and contrast from whatever view they are coming, if you look at everything that Reverend Martins pinpointed there, he was only looking at the angle where he felt Obaseki should have subpedaled, where he gangstered and all that, how we beat people and all that and all that. No, that is, to me, it's not the right politics to play. Tell us that Adams Oshomole didn't build this school. Obaseki built. Adams neglected this road. Obaseki fixed it. Adams did this. Obaseki did. Than coming to say, why would, okay, if anybody is, let's take for instance, if you are in power and somebody is coming to just pick something in your eyes and simply because he expects you to soft pedal and show, no, you don't do that. You have to stop some certain nonsense. But we are not in any way giving credit to all this kind of brutality and high-handedness that some people in power parade today. But what I'm thinking that should be done by PDP as against APC is to prove a point by your actions, not by what you say. Because coming here to give rhetorics and all that, it doesn't make sense to me. And I believe that the people of Edo State who will be casting their votes on September 21 will look at the statement of the publicity secretary of Obaseki's campaign organization. They will look at his speech as a joke. Yeah, I am not standing for APC nor standing for PDP, but I'm saying the truth, the way I perceive it, and the way I believe that common Nigerians perceive. Last time Adams Oshomole was saying that the schools he built, they are getting dilapidated and Obaseki is not fixing them and all that and all that. We saw those things. Such are the things that they should look out for. Okay, if these public buildings are not being taken care of, as a governor, what are you supposed to do? What are the Edo people benefiting from your government that they didn't benefit in other governments, the STY governments? No, try to fix things. Try to put things up.
You're right.
Prove a point. You remember that you have to do everything to woo those who will cast vote for you. Not just to talk them into, as if you are talking to children who don't have reason, who don't even know what happened in the yesterdays. So you should know that for them to cast their vote in the coming September election, they will look at your performances.
All right.
Now, in as much as Aswe Igudelo and Monday Obolo are coming up to lock horns, let it not be that two of them will be fighting up there. And Abata, Olumide Abata will from the beneath collect everything, which in fact I'm also praying that it happened that way. Let these big ones that have led us over time and have failed, let them wait. Let this small, let Labour Party try their hands.
All right. Yeah. All right, interesting. Churchy, what is your take? Say here is of the opinion that the attack was on the person of Oshomole and not
they have just spoken like a Labour Party member. And I know where he is going to, but let me just go direct to
he may need to explain to us better.
The way he spoke, he spoke like, but really, I'm a PDP member. I will say it anywhere and anytime. But so far as Edo State is concerned, I really have seen what is happening in Edo State, and I gave it to APC before this time. Adding to the wall of Gibatra factor that is being attached to the candidature of the APC. I gave it direct to the APC candidate, being Monday. So, but in the other way around, let's just go direct to these criticisms. Really, it happens in politics. People come up, they say this or that. People who want to, use character assassination to demote the persons that they want to see on their way when they want to achieve power politically. But the most important thing is not even the character assassination. The most important thing, like Nze said, is the blueprint. I said it here time with that number that political year is different from the governance year. You know, when it did not do well in the years of their governance, the political year, you will not have anything to tender. It is very, very clear. You know, Obaseki does not have a scorecard that that can testify or testifies the credition or the excellency of his party succeeding him as the next governor of Edo State. That is the reason why every other person that wants to campaign in Edo State, they want to use Adams Oshomole as PDP members. They want to use Adams Oshomole to discredit APC candidatures. But looking at what Adams Oshomole has done is not what we are looking at now. What we are looking at now is the credibility of both the APC candidate and that of the PDP candidate, and also the march forward, the minds of the people. If you look at what is happening in those states, no matter what PDP will do now, they cannot beat APC. I've said it before.
Why do you say that?
Because APC, right from time, they organized their home very well. And they started earlier in making sure that they move ahead to knowing the mind of the people, we people to themselves. And as it stands now, many of the stakeholders in PDP are already APC members. That of the Labour Party are also members of the APC. And going down to the campaign structures in the way they have been moving, I've been getting feedback from Edo State. And I know too well that Monday Bebelo has moved almost, he has completed around the areas within Edo State. The local government, they've almost concluded visiting even mushroom politics. I mean, candle, they call it a lantern campaign or candle campaign. That is, they've gone around. Even in the night, daytime, they are moving around. And while the PDP were in a court before this time, you know, chasing shadow. So there is nothing the campaign publicity secretary or chairman of the PDP can say about Oshomole to will people to PDP. The ball is in the court. This is almost the end of August, and 21st of September we are going to, by the end of 21st of September, the election is done. Anything, the election is within the next 27 days, 26 days from now. So what are we saying? What I'm saying is that they should leave about the criticism about Oshomole. That is not what they should be doing now. What they should be doing now is how to get back to their drawing board and rearrange how to face 2028 election.
All right.
So, but for now, I have seen it that the APC has taken the day.
All right. Zamfara State chapter of the All Progressive Congress has refuted Governor Dauda Lawal's claim that his administration distributed 81,000 bags of fertilizer free to farmers, saying the fertilizer being distributed was a federal government allocation. Recall that Governor Dauda Lawal last week flagged off the distribution of 81,000 bags of fertilizer to farmers in the state, which he said was purchased by his administration. In reaction to the claim, the state chapter of APC, in a statement, kicked against Governor Lawal's claim, saying that the commodity was the state government's allocation from the federal government under the NG CARES. The APC spokesperson in Zamfara State, Yusuf Idris, said the administration of Governor Lawal did not purchase the fertilizer claimed to be distributed to farmers free of charge, but rather collected from the federal government. The APC Publicity Secretary expressed displeasure over Governor Lawal's inability to give credit to President Bola Tinubu's administration that allocated the fertilizer to the state under his NG Cares program. Let me start with you, Honorable Churchill. You're a politician.
Yeah.
Can you explain what's going on in Zamfara State?
You know, when we talk about politicians, I don't really stand on the aspect of looking at people and stabbing them in their eye. You know, when you are taking somebody something and you're looking at the person and telling him that this thing I'm taking is my own. You see, the level of corruption in this country is not only affecting the economy and the persons in this country. It's even affecting the name called Nigeria. Look at when they are telling you that fertilizer, fertilizer you bought 81,000 bags, and if you really bought it, that should be what you will announce as allocation. Okay, what of the IGR? So what I'm saying is that they are now telling us that they have cooked lies against the federal government. I mean, they want to say the federal government is not assisting at all in the agriculture aspect of the country. But I know too well that if it's true that this particular fertilizers was given through NG Cares, and the governor decided to announce to the people, 81,000 is the number of farmers in Zamfara is not 81,000. It can never be 81,000. So what we should be talking about is bringing development or even assisting the farmers more than what we are seeing. 81,000 bags cannot assist the entire farmers, and it shouldn't be what Lawal should be coming to brag of, that is from the allocation. When they look at us, that is from the south, you know, I know they are envious about the kind of allocation that enters our ports. You know, people like that of the River State, Delta State, that is mostly the south.
Why would you say they are envious?
Because when they look at what is entering us, that is the reason why Lawal can use fertilizer of 81,000 bags to say that is allocation. Because to convince his people that he utilized the money in buying fertilizer, while that is the fertilizer that was given to their states from the NG Cares. So, but in the other way around, I am of the opinion that they should allow him, because he's still in the administrative and the governance period. Let him finish every damn thing, just like Obaseki is crying now, trying to look at what to hold on. At the end of the time, Lawal will also look at what to hold on.
All right.
Because you think you can deceive the people up to the extent that anything you tell them, they will believe. We're in a digital world now.
All right.
There is no information that is hidden forever. No matter how you take it, it cannot be hidden forever. No matter what any person feels, they will tell people that as a politician, when the time comes, it will also open. So Lawal should stop deceiving his people by giving them negative information.
Okay. What do you have to say to this, Nze?
On this very issue, on this very topic, there's something that just popped into my mind.
What is it?
That a hungry man does not ask who cooked the food he is eating. What a hungry man needs is food on the table.
Okay.
And as Nigerians in Zamfara State, they are predominantly farmers. They need fertilizer. And the Dauda Lawal has given them fertilizer. Whether it is his allocation from federal government or Dauda Lawal bought from his with his money, personal money or state money, what the people need is fertilizer. Now, look at something. There was an argument that ensued here some time ago when we were looking at the issue of electrification in Abia State, and you were saying that it was Shell and blah blah blah. I say, why didn't Shell bring it when Ikpeazu was there? That Bible said that when the righteous are in power, the people rejoice. Now, if The
It has
Dauda,
always been there. It was rounded up during
it was rounded up during. Why was it not rounded up during Ibazo? Ibazo, according to his name, the last comma. He still kept the whole thing still happened that way. But let us take it from this. Let us take it from this angle. Dauda Lawal had given the people fertilizer, which is assistance for their farming work, and the people are taking it. The people, in fact, if you asked about 70 to 80% of the recipients of this fertilizer, who gave you fertilizer, they say it's governor. Whether it came from federal, in fact, it is possible that this thing can still come from federal and it will not get to the people. Did we not see it in Rivers State? We had that federal government gave, is it 20 trucks of rice to states. And we're only hearing in the news that it was distributed in so-so place, distributed in so-so place, distributed. I'm a grassroots man.
You didn't get the rice.
Not even that I didn't see, or I didn't see a particular person, one particular person who said I received. Okay. Which means rice was distributed, but to who? I know that it was given to human beings anyway, because even if the distributor decides to keep eating, it's still human beings that will eat it in his house.
During elections, we'll see the rice. If
they will keep the rice that's supposed to be eaten yesterday for tomorrow, then it means they are still playing with our heads.
Didn't that play out in COVID-19?
Yeah, it does play. Did we applaud them? We didn't applaud such thing, because look at the Zamfara man has gotten whether he got the fertilizer from federal government or he bought it with his own money, or a good donor decide to give to them. He has distributed it to the people, and let other governors, let other state governors learn from this. Whenever any allocation is given to you, please let it go round, even if it is one cup. Okay. But let it go round to the generality of the masses. That is my stand on that. So I commend Dauda Lawal. And
in your opinion, you don't really care.
I don't care where it comes from.
Federal government. You don't care.
A hungry man does not ask who cooked the food he's eating. He's eating the food.
You don't care if he's actually taking the allocation from federal government and claiming that
he's the one that bought it.
You don't care about that. What you care about is that
it is immaterial now. It is immaterial to the field. Those who are playing in the field, it's completely immaterial.
Okay.
Okay. Right. Let me. The only area I want to let you know is that, you see, it is very, very. That is demoralizing when people make, as a political office holder, you make statements that does not really applaud your person, or does not really carry a kind of person. Like what you said, giving the allocation, giving the fertilizer to the people is not the problem. The problem is announcing it that you bought it from the allocation. That is, see, let me tell you, if he had given his people the fertilizer as maybe this is a gift, you understand, for the farming, it's sure. But coming to say I bought it from the allocation, even if you are building road in Rivers State, must you come now if the governor of Rivers State is building road? Just like when the former governor of Rivers State was building road. Did he come and tell us that this street road I'm building today is from the allocation, apart from when they paid us, when there is a money they paid us?
5 billion.
Yes. And he said it that this flyover now, that he wants everybody to thank the president for releasing Rivers State money. You understand?
Rivers State money that another person spent.
That's not the matter. The matter is you don't have to use some certain words by you want to appease the people, or you want to let the people. Have you been doing things and telling them that this thing I'm doing? Do you even feed your family to tell them that the money I spent on my family was from their location? Or do you even tell them that the money I used to travel abroad is from their location? You don't. So using that particular statement, or making that particular statement that it's from their location, that is where I am against.
All right.
So what I'm saying is that, you see, Zamfara people will pay him back when the time comes. Whether if he does good. That is what I said. I said in Rivers State here, in anything you are doing, you have 4 years that they are giving to you. You have 3 good years. In short, 2.5 year political year. That is governance year. The half year I'm talking about is during when you are in the court. Then you finish, you continue. The 2.5 years, at the end of 2023, 2026, at the end of 2026, you understand?
Electioneering period begins.
No, that is at the end of 2025, sorry. At the end of 2025, nobody talks about governance again. If you go inside, they are talking politics. So they should give account. By the end of 2025, everybody that was elected 2024, 2023 will tell us what he has achieved.
All right. Now, if I may understand, Honorable Churchill, he's saying that the action by the governor of Zamfara State is misinformation to the people. Now, if it trickles down to the reality on ground, let's use the End Bad Governance in Nigeria protest. You will agree with me that the protest was addressed to the federal government. Granted, yes, the people are feeling the impact of economic policies by the federal government. However, on the sideline, the federal government has also, put some measures to ensure that, to some extent, the impact of the hardship, economic hardship, to some extent is ameliorated. The masses don't get to feel it as bad as it is. And these allocations, incrementing allocations, palliatives, and all that has been given to the state governors, the federating units. The question would be, if the people are actually feeling the impact of, all that the federal government has been giving to them, do you think that this protest will break out? No. That's on one hand. On the other hand, governors, during the protest, they will only tell the people, will feel your pain, will feel your pain. The question is, the money is being given to them, are they actually trickling down to the masses? The answer is no. Are the masses feeling the impact of any probably increased FAC allocation, 13% derivation funds and all of that? Are they feeling the impact? If they are feeling the impact, then why the protest? In the case of Zamfara, the federal government has released fertilizer, and the state governor is claiming that he is the one. Now, the people of Zamfara State will be hailing the state governor, and in the same breath, cursing at the federal government, not knowing that was information. Take it or yes, during a campaign period, the Zamfara State governor will that move.
Now, can we just be objective in this? You have explained very clearly, even as according to Churchill. Look at it. If the state government is handling the people well, will the people ever stand to accuse the federal government of anything? Now, if the local government chairmen are doing the people well, will people come to talk on the governor? If the councillors are doing well, will people begin to pick on the local government chairman? Now, there's something we need to understand here. Apart from being trying to present matters and this, to me, I told you here sometime that I intentionally decided not to be professional. I want to be real. I want to be just normal, like a normal Nigerian. If the governor gives these arms, this assistance to the people, that's why I told you initially that the man does not ask who cook the food he's eating. Now, if the governor has given the people fertilizer, and they're receiving fertilizer, they're getting evidence of democracy, everything is flowing, federal government is feeding the governor is feeding the people will be happy, and you won't see this kind of end bad governance protest. But that's why I said that other governors should emulate. It does not require you coming to say, federal government has given us 20 naira, so I'm giving you people 20 naira. Federal government has given us 15 naira, I'm giving you people. Let government, because that is the way the system is structured. Let federal government release to state government, let state government add to the IGA they receive, and let the people feel the good dividend of administration. And whoever they will look at is the governor. Now the governor has given them fertilizer. Whether it from federal government.
How many times seated on my show have you blamed the governor for anything? Let me ask you a direct question.
Okay.
How many times seated on my show have you blamed the governor? Between the federal government and the state government, who do you lay blame at their doorstep?
Okay.
Number one, my blame come to governor, starting from the local government chairman. If I'm in a place and there are things the local government is supposed to do that they are not doing, either because the state government is location when they have not gotten autonomy. You understand? The first person I hit on is the local government. When I hit the local government, they will now come to say, no, we were not able to fix these potholes because we didn't get allocation from the state. Then we hit the state. The state will say, we didn't do that because we are not having enough money from the federal government. We hit the federal government. I cannot, look, I am a priest, a parish priest. Anybody who speaks ill of the head, the leadership of my church, without first attacking me, is not doing well, and I will always caution that person. I am the one representing the leadership of my church. And the way our church is structured, there is a local church, there is a section, there is a district, and there is a general council. So the local pastor should be able to make sure that people feel the good side of the church. Now, it is when the local pastor is not doing well that the people will begin to say, our leaders are evil, our leaders are bad. So the same thing I am standing here to uphold. And when the governors fail, we hit the governors. When the federal fail, we hit the federal.
If I may remind you on open conversation, during the End Bad Governance protest, when it was going on, I remember that you were a guest on my show when we discussed the protest in Rivers State and the people going to the government house.
We applauded the governor.
You applauded the governor.
Good.
I remember very clearly. You applauded the governor. You sang his praises. You gave an eulogy of the governor. You said he's a man of the people. He hears the voice of the people and all of that. And you thanked him for even being magnanimous to offer pure water money and bread money to
also thank the people for refusing.
To the protesters. Right. Now, after doing that, you, in our conversation as you continued, you blamed the federal government for a lot of things, and you justified that protest. And you also, thanked the governor for also, aligning himself. You said according to you, the only governor that aligned himself with the protesters. Now the question would be that, like you said, it's wrong to hit the federal when you've not hit the local government, you've not hit the states, as it were. The governor has been receiving increased FAC allocation. The governor has been receiving funds, increased funds, even palliatives as well. Like you also rightly said on my show now, that rice was delivered to Rivers State. You heard, or you never saw. And I would have expected the same level of energy. You said anybody hitting your of the leadership of your church and not coming at you first. It's wrong. Now, in this case, you applaud the governor, and in the same breath, you hit the federal government.
Good.
Is that not double speak?
Not double speaking at all. Look at it from this angle. We are all here. Let's take, for instance, we are family. He is the first son, you are the mother and the father. And while both of us are away, the other children are looking up to him to give them food.
Yes.
And he said, Mommy didn't give me any food to give to you. What will the children do? Mommy, you didn't give us food today. I said, no, your daddy didn't didn't give me money. And you see everything will come to. If we consider the trajectory of that bad governance protest, that in as much as Nigerians were shouting and crying, every other person walked up. Even the number 3 man said that, let the people be doing their protest while they will be eating. And you have seen it justified by their actions. But look at a governor came out and said, truly, we are suffering, we are in pain. I understand, I feel your pain, I feel what you feel. Please, while you are doing that, in case you stop your energy, take some pure water and and all that. Look, that is to show that he is not coming out to shoot on the people. And I told you that that measure he took was a heroic action. Heroic. You have to be loyal to culture, loyal to weak. And yet he was able to stand because he has a very clear conscience.
Right.
Now look at other states where they were killing people and all that.
All right.
Where are the orders coming from?
All right, I will see in subsequent conversations. I will remind you of the we'll still come to that.
Governor Fubara fails, and we hit him.
No, don't worry.
And anywhere he get it right, we will applaud him.
For now, I'm not talking about Governor Fubara, but let me tell you clearly, it is very, very unfortunate that the governor of Zamfara State did not make the statement to his people based on what he got from the federal government. He made the statement based on convincing his people that their money is being used for them. That is it. So let's make it very straight. Not that he is just playing politics on Zamfara people.
All right.
And that is purely.
Did he do well?
No, what I am saying is that if that truly that fertilizer came from the federal government, he should tell Zamfara people that this fertilizer came from federal government. Nobody has asked him first how he is using the allocation. So he shouldn't justify the fertilizer for the allocation.
All right.
That is it.
All right. President Bola Tinubu has pledged to promote the rule of law, adhere to the principles of separation of powers, and tolerate dissenting views within the ambit of the laws of Nigeria. Tinubu, represented by Vice President Tinubu, represented by the Vice President, Kashim Shettima, made the pledge on Sunday when he declared open the annual General Conference of the Nigerian Bar Association in Lagos. He said his administration, since the assumption of office, had made steady progress in rebuilding the nation through legal and judicial reforms. He implored Nigerian lawyers and other citizens to join hands with his administration to work towards achieving the Nigeria of everybody's dream. He said the nation must achieve sustainable development, assuring that his administration's policies and actions would bring relief to Nigerians despite making difficult decisions to change the way things were done in the past. He thanks the Supreme Court for consistently sustaining good governance and the tenets of democracy in the country. He cited the most recent verdict of the highest court in the land, which granted financial autonomy to the local government councils. The judgment, he noted, will spur the much-desired developments at the grassroots level. He expressed confidence that more of such strategic and reform-oriented legal interventions will be achieved by the third arm of the government. Tinubu restated his administration's commitment to continue making the welfare of the judiciary a top priority. My interest in this entire story is the president pledging to tolerate dissenting views. Let me start with you, Nze. So far in the administration of President Bola Tinubu, would you say he is tolerant of dissenting views?
This is, it is just good that when people have the microphone, they use it. Whether they use it right. But you can see that even the blind sees in Tinubu's administration that he's not tolerant at all. Even the deaf hears that Tinubu's government is not tolerant. How will you say that you're tolerant to dissenting voices? Even when, how many record in the immediate past protest. Now, you remember, during the end SARS protest, fingers were pointed at Tinubu.
The Tollgate massacre.
The Tollgate massacre.
The Tollgate.
Yeah. Now, in his administration, no longer from the side, in his administration, how many dead did we record? You are tolerant to dissenting voices. How many people are in jail without trial? In as much as we cannot in any way agree with criminals who try to come under the guise of protest to commit carry out. No, law enforcement agencies should be able to address such. But let it not be that you see people being whisked away. They were accused. Okay, just look at what happened in NLC saga. You are still telling us that you are tolerant to dissenting voices, whereas anybody you hear or you use the body language that somehow is speaking against your this thing, you pick them up. Is it not in Tinubu's time that we are seeing journalists being whisked away and hidden without any notification to the family members of that such a person, only to be discovered? Sometimes they think that the people have been kidnapped and or killed or something, only to be discovered that they are in police custody. Is it not in this government? In which way will he come? That's why sometimes I don't like listening to some of this our news, because when you listen to them, you just be angry, you just get provoked, because they talk what they don't do. They are good talkers and bad. If Tinubu government want to prove to us that he is tolerant to dissenting voices, let him show it. People to talk. In fact, one of the presidents that I must applaud for tolerance is Jonathan. Because Jonathan, you will talk against, when he hears your criticism, he goes back. I remember when he banned sending international matches, and people shouted, critics here and there. But immediately he reversed his decision. I said, this is a man, this is a hero, this is a strong man, because it's not only seen in muzzle, strength is seen more in the mind. So we have not seen Tinubu practice what he has come here to say, though he wasn't saying it himself. He was saying it through his vice president and all that. So, but whether he said it or the vice said it, it is not true. Stop deceiving Nigerians. Tell us what is true. Tell us what you can do, and not coming to tell us what you are not. We are not doubts.
All right.
We are not doubts. We all have eyes. We all have ears. We have body. We feel. It's not obtainable anywhere. If this government want to be tolerant, let them be tolerant. And I also want to advise them to be very, very careful about this administration, because they are trying to applaud the judges and all that. We know that in this administration, we have rated the judicial system as worst. In this administration, judicial system is worst. And if the same people who are using the judiciaries are coming to tell us that judiciary is doing the best, they are doing best to their paymasters. So judges do not also work on their consciences again. They are now working based on the amount of money that enter their pocket. Right. And it must be condemned. I'm speaking for the people. The people are angry about it. People disagree with it. People are saying, if you want to do the needful, do the needful. If you don't want to do it, close your mouth and stop talking to us that way. All right.
What do you have to say, George?
You know, the way it was just gingery, you know, they was talking it, you know. But it's simple truth. I just thank God that that is not Tinubu that just said this. The person that said this is Shetima.
No.
Shetima was representing. Shetima was representing.
Hold on. When there is an occasion, or in this instance, you send your wife or your son to go speak for you, the honor given to your son
is yours.
Is yours.
Okay.
He will be recognized in the capacity, in your capacity, not in his capacity.
Okay, let me tell you why. Let me tell you why. Yes, it's the president.
So don't separate.
I'm not separating them. Yes, but one thing I want to tell Nigerians is that I know so many Nigerians will be very, very interested in this particular issue. You know, when it comes to governance, when it comes to the past president and the current president, Nigerians can attest, they can always say it. People there. I am not saying it as a politician, but I'm saying it because I know that people are paying.
What exactly are you saying?
You know, when you are talking about being tolerant in dissenting voices, you know that apart from, yes, in this their government, everybody says what he wants to say. But what matters is who is listening. Is the president doing according to what people are saying? Does he really, like even when he was campaigning, I listened to one clip. he said that he doesn't go to social medias any longer. Because that when he goes to social media, that
they will abuse
people are talking rubbish things about him. You know, when somebody is talking like that, that means the person does not want to hear what people are saying. So tolerate, yes, he can tolerate because he's not killing people every day because of the way they talk. But the only thing is, our president and the presidency, they are not doing according to what they say.
Are they tolerant? You know, you're speaking as a politician.
No.
You've been on a rigmarole. And I want you to be clear. I want to be clear on your point.
Yes.
What is your point exactly?
My point is that, one, that the president hears, sees, but they are not. You understand? Yes. They are not killing people. They are tolerant. Yes, okay, I believe that they are tolerant.
All right.
But they are not adherent. They are not adherent. I mean, they are not working towards. You understand?
Okay.
They are not doing what people wants to hear. He wants to see. If you like say anything you want to say in this country, you're saying it on your own. Just like you said here that the president of the Senate said that the people should protest while they will be eating. It's their choice. They don't want to hear you. They don't want to kill anybody.
They're supposed to hear me.
The only problem is that if you talk about them being tolerant, yes, they are tolerant.
All right.
Because they are not quarreling anybody. Oh, they are not killing you for talking. You can talk, but they are not doing anything you're talking.
All right, Honorable Churchill. Interestingly, you said the president is tolerant. Let me bring hold on, please. Let me bring the concern raised by Atiku Abubakar as well as other Nigerians with regards to this. Shall we delve into that?
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay, very well. Now, Atiku Abubakar, in his exact words, let me just read what he said. He said, "The dangerous trend of enforced disappearances has become a national embarrassment for a country which claims to be practicing democracy." He said, on May 1, 2024, Daniel Ojukwu of the Foundation for Investigative Journalism went missing and was presumed
kidnapped.
Abducted by kidnappers until he was later discovered to be in the police custody on the orders of the IGP, Kayode Ebetokun. Ojukwu's crime was that he exposed the corruption of a government official who currently serves in Tinubu's administration. On July 23, the DSS arrested one Aliyu Sanusi in Sama Road of Sokoto, the state capital, for printing and distributing materials ahead of the End Bad Governance protest. Even the arrest and release of former BBC Pidgin editor and current West African regional editor of The Conversation, Adejuwon Soyinka, clearly show a party whose objective is to intimidate journalists for speaking the truth to the government. I'll continue saying what he said. Article continues to say, now the police have arrested Bristol Tamunobieferi, who owns the PDOM Nigeria blog on X, formerly Twitter. After detaining him for over 2 weeks, he was granted an administrative bail which would be impossible to meet. This is despite the fact that the appeal court in the case of EFCC versus Obol 2022 held that administration is illegal. Article continued to say, Bristol should therefore be arraigned in court immediately or be released. Now, Article in his own words, have cited for example, an intimidation and harassment of journalists for exposing certain things. I know you are familiar with the PDOM Nigeria, who has been detained. PDOM is known for exposing certain classified secrets, government secrets to the people. You
know, when I talk now, just the same thing.
You said the government is tolerant.
When I mean the aspects of tolerance, I mean is...
Now your tolerance has an aspect.
Yes, the level of tolerance.
Let's hear Go on.
You know, no, you will say politicians. It's not all about politicians.
All right, go on.
You know, what I was saying is, let's tell the people the truth. You understand? To a certain level, you know, as if the government of Tinubu has kept deaf ears to the voice of people. To a certain level, him also, and his government, the people working with him, has also been committing some certain crimes that I will not, on my own, say that is the president that is committing it. Yes, like I always say something, that in every government official, there are people that are surround him or her. Even as she is here now, in this their office here now, as a presenter, there are also one or two that surrounds her, that is around her, that she want to hear one or two things from. You two in your office, there are one or two, and those are the people they call aides. Your aides might be doing some certain things that are not really what you intend doing, but they do it to cover it up that is you that is doing it. Let me, for example, when as the governor is there now, some persons can maybe go to any ministry to collect authority, to go and collect some certain taxes, you understand, or revenue from people. And their actions there is not being done by the governor, but they are doing it in his government. So what I'm saying in a nutshell,
are you separating the operations of the police and DSS? In this instance, are you separating their actions from the president? Is that what you're doing? Are this information,
totally.
Hold on, the information, are they not public? The disappearance of PDOM, was it not public? And
it was public.
If you recall, when NLC Secretariat was raided in Abuja, it was raided shortly after NLC released a communique condemning the Tinubu-led administration's actions during the protest, particularly with respect to human rights abuse, if you recall. And they clearly stated that they also condemned extrajudicial killings by the police. Shortly after that communique was released, the NLC Secretariat was raided. And shortly after that, NLC still came out to say they suspect that their Secretariat has been bogged. Now, less than a week down the line, there is an invitation to the NLC president. When you look at these issues, marry them together, you now look at the fact that over 1,000 protesters have been detained illegally.
Over 1,000, yeah.
It has been detained illegally and without bail over bad governance in Nigeria protests. You recall that according to Nigerian constitution, protest is a right of the people, a way of, saying their minds. Now, while the actions of some of the protests, pockets of violence in the north are being condemned, roundly condemned by everybody, there are protesters that have been arrested just for protesting in a democratic government. And what are they protesting against?
Bad
hardship, hunger basically.
Yeah.
Now, and the government is taking these actions against them. Do not forget that they talked about NSAS protest. Shehu Sani, when he was addressing the president at a certain time, told him, "You are the father of protesters. Please release NSAS protesters that have been in detention for how many years without trial?" Make it make sense to me. Just last week, the courts also allowed the police to even detain protesters who were arrested for over 60 days. Make it make sense to me. The question is, what crime did they commit?
Because they were protesting.
Is it a treasonable crime? Is it a case of attempted murder? Is it a case of murder? Because I know there are certain crimes, according to the laws of the land, they are not bailable offenses.
Okay.
So are these offenses not bailable? Now, if PDOM, for example, was granted a bail of to the tune of 500 million, somebody that must have properties and all that, to the tune of 500 million naira, how much is Emefiele's bail again? Make it make sense to me.
Okay, like what you are saying now, every Nigerian will be looking at it that Honorable Churchill is trying to bend the issues to support the...
Honorable Churchill, you're the one indicting yourself.
But the truth is that the presidency has their scores to play. And me, as a person, have my own scores to play. But one thing I said is that when we are talking about tolerance to distance dissenting voices, we should be looking at not 100%, because there is nowhere you will score any government. You understand? Even in River State, let me tell you, let me come down to a certain extent. In Ikwere local government, when I was a councillor, a motion was raised. I raised the motion in the house, and the motion was seconded. After the council meeting, that is after the sitting somebody called the chairman to give information about the legislative meeting that happened in the chamber. And they called me, and there was voices, and from there, I was threatened. Issue came up, serious one. And that thing led to, you understand, so many issues in the council till today. It is not completely erased. It is also applicable in so many areas. So we will not, applaud any government. We will not give records to any government of tolerance 100%.
All right.
So what I'm saying is that, to a certain extent, let's not add up that whatsoever thing that is happening in Tinubu government, that he is aware of it.
All right.
Some persons put themselves into it to make sure they fan at his face, believing that yes, he knows what he's doing.
But Marisha, if I may come in here, I want to disagree with Honorable Churchill.
Okay.
See, if you know you are not capable, go home and sit down in your house. Do not come and drag what you know you are incapable of handling. If anybody does anything in the government of Governor Similaya Fubara, we will blame Similaya Fubara for it. Just as it is in my house, there are laws I place in my house. If any of my children or the people living with me should violate it, I will take the responsibility of that violation. Or that whatever action the person takes. But I will now know how to handle that person. So if you tell me that some people working with President Tinubu are coming to do this, that Tinubu is not the one. Tinubu is the one. Look, let us call a spade a spade. Tinubu government is intolerant to dissenting voices.
Okay, that is
Tinubu and his government, in fact, they are all intolerant.
But that is your own opinion.
It's not just my opinion. That's what we feel. See, our people say you don't need a glass, you don't need mirror to look at what you wear in your wrist.
Okay, let's agree.
Nigerians know that Tinubu is not intolerant.
No, but that is their own opinion. Like
not my opinion, all our opinion, because we are the masses and I speak all of us.
No, you're not speaking for me.
I speak all of us. You're part of us.
But no, I said that is your own opinion. Like what I said.
His opinion is
my own opinion. I said,
but I want you to buy my opinion.
But you should buy my own. That is to a certain extent.
All right, gentlemen.
Then you will explain some certain things.
There are growing concerns over how the 13% derivation funds meant for oil-producing communities are being used by governors of the 9 Niger Delta states. The 13% derivation is a fund set aside to assist oil-producing communities tackle infrastructural decay and degradation. Recall that the Niger Delta region has gotten trillions of naira constitutionally accrued to it through 13% derivation for over 23 years, with over 600 billion naira of that sum already gotten in the first half of 2024. But successive governors from the region have not been able to better the lots of the communities, as people still live in squalor, diseases, and reckon with the worst and highest form of poverty. Despite the seeming despondent economic state of the nation, the federal government, however, has not failed to actualize a steady increment in the 13% derivation to Niger Delta governors. In January, 57.92 billion was released to oil-producing states. In February, it rose to 85.10 billion naira. And in March, the Niger Delta oil-producing states got 166.24 billion naira. The sums were 90.12 billion naira, 120.45 billion naira, and 106.50 billion naira for April, May, and June, respectively. ATN investigation in these oil-producing communities reveals the abject living conditions of residents. No electricity, no drinking water, no roads, and a total lack of basic amenities. 13% oil derivative funds to 9 oil-producing states from June 2023 to May 2024 allocation in 1 year. Delta State received 211.69 billion naira. Akwa Ibom received 127.77 billion. Bayelsa received 115.53 billion naira. River State received 110.96 billion naira. Edo received 22.36 billion naira. Ondo State received 19.45 billion naira. Imo State received 8.88 billion naira. Anambra received 6.76 billion naira. And Abia State received 5.03 billion naira. This information is for statistics, and this is on FARC allocation. Is there anything commensurate to show for the large inflow to these states? What are the governors doing with these funds? I'll start with you, Honorable Churchill. You're from an oil-producing community, yes? Please, let's narrow it down to River State.
You know,
River State in the past 1 year has received 110 billion naira for 13% derivative.
Wow, that's a huge amount of money.
Let's narrow it down to your state.
Let me come to, I will narrow it down to my community.
Yes, please mention the community. So
yes, I am from Igruta.
All right.
Igruta will have...
and you produce oil?
Yes. We'll have... we'll have even flow station in Igruta. Abada too is from in Igruta. So, and I know too well that Igruta, in the Kwere local government, Igruta is a major oil producing community.
Okay. Outside
Igruta, we come to Alo. And Igruta is a major oil producing community. So I'm very, very surprised the kind of amount I'm hearing. Really, I am among the persons that agitate for this. I really talked about it before this time, the 13% derivation. It's not something that happened yesterday. We've really been talking about it, and by the grace of God, we're praying for it too. And government now approved it. But it's very, very disturbing to my person that my community has not seen any impact of such. This money, we've not really seen anything. In short, I'm surprised that this money, since this year, has been getting to the River State government. The communities, particularly my community, has not seen anything from this money. And I'm very, very disturbed about the way and the manner this money is coming without getting to the grassroots. It is disturbing. My brother Nze will always say that they should blame this one now. We're not blaming local governments. We're looking at the communities where the oil is being produced. They are the people that this money is supposed to be used for. And I am part of the community where this oil is being produced. And the 13%, I have not seen anything. I'm a stakeholder in my community. A Gruta cannot gather all the stakeholders now without a former councillor being present. Somebody that represented the community at the level of the council for complete 3 years and came out with scores. I have my scores. I am always being informed about information, about developments in my community. But this one is surprising to me. I don't know whether the governor is keeping it for us, maybe because the things has not been done very well in the aspect of representing the budget.
So far,
but
no
so far
development
nothing
to the community, your community in this instance.
No development.
From the 13% derivation.
No development. The only thing I just saw in my community, which I know is being done by the NDDC.
Now, I need us to make some clarifications.
Yeah.
We are talking of 13% derivation.
Nothing.
We are not talking of IGR. We are not talking of FAC allocation.
What I'm talking about is 13% derivation. I've not seen anything.
You have not seen any impact,
any impact
in your community.
Yeah.
And you're saying, how many oil wells do you have in your community?
We have functioning oil well now. We have about 28 functioning oil
Now,
well.
if I may ask, the oil exploration in Iguruta, has it affected the lives negatively? Has it in any way negatively impacted on the residents?
Of course, it has. It has. Right. Our zinc, the exploration, the zinc, the buildings, the food, the plants are not. That is, our crops are not. In short, every damn thing.
Right.
We are suffering much when we talk about communities that are suffering in oil exploration. Concerns oil exploration. Iguruta is one of the communities that people will always talk about that is passing through a lot. I mean, in our crops, we can't produce food the way we used to. Gari, our plants are not growing. Nyam, just everything deteriorating every day. Our roofs is getting damaged day by day.
Right.
Because even when you these shoots, you can't see them, but we know what we are seeing. My community is among the communities in Niger Delta that are heavily affected.
All right. Very well. Nze, what do you have to say to this?
It is, if I will stay sound this way, it is disturbing. It is appalling. It is heartless. It is heartless. Let me start by saying a community in Okreka local government this morning, I heard over the radio, are crying that they don't have potable drinking water. The only well they draw from, somebody went and draw feces there. So the surrounding water, just an island that is surrounded with water, salt water, you can't drink from it. They defecate on it. Do you still expect them to drink from it? And this is the situation of several oil producing communities in Niger Delta.
Yeah.
I've worked with SPDC on this community something, and we've gone round. Look, when we talk about 13% derivation to oil communities, and I hear it, I just want to wave it away because it does not reflect in anywhere in any oil producing community. Maybe I wish you can just take a boat step, use a boat, move around it anymore, and we don't produce oil. But these people that produce oil, they still live in touch. Some people still suspend their houses on stick. They suspend their houses on stick, and yet you see oil wells springing from their compound, moving and developing Abuja. I wish that people will hear. Let international community, if actually they have Nigeria at heart, let them come and see what is happening here. People are drinking their urine. People are eating their feces in Niger Delta, where they are giving 13% to governors. Governors of Rivers, governors of Delta, governors of Bayelsa, governors of I'm not saying one governor, the governors, right from the succeeding governments till now, the preceding governments till now. When we talk about what people go through, we are not just talking about water now. We are not talking about. I went to a place called Adada in Abuja local government. There was no how you can locate, not through road, not through air, not through water, because the water that the channel that lead to their place, the water used to leave. Sometimes we were coming, and at some point the water left us, and we were just there inside creek. exposed to reptiles and crocodiles and all that. And these people, they produce oil. When we were going, we have some cartons of bottled water, and we were warned, don't near that community with those water. If you get there, you may not come back. Because they don't have it, they don't have access to it. They drink from where they defecate. So what we did, everybody drank enough water, and before we entered, we dropped all our water in a bua, and then moved to that place. And I begin to ask, why is it that they cannot dredge a channel for these people, at least to access their place? You cannot see some of the communities don't have school at all. No school. If they have any, it will be highly dilapidated. And yet, you go to some places, this coke we are buying 400 naira here now. In some of the oil producing communities, they buy for 900 naira, so 1,000 naira.
Because that's the water they drink.
No, not just that the water they, for you to assess them, for you to carry this thing from town to their place, it will be. Do you know that when I see the military and police and all that saying they are fighting economic sabotage in Niger Delta, killing people, destroying their bullfire stuff, I say, well, you can only do it because you have power to do it. But the people who are now fetching this cup, it's like people are using tanker to carry water away from your house, and some of the drops from the leaking tanker, you use cup to collect it, and one idiot will come and push it away from your hand. It is inhuman. It is inhuman. It is disheartening. And I believe that if God will judge the people that are in government, I don't blame federal government in this matter. I blame state governments, our governors. What are they using those money to do? They are becoming super rich over the suffering of the downtrodden. These people do not have places to farm. When they do their small farm, small rain that will fall, flood will cover everything and eat up everything they planted. And these people will be just like that. Is it until these people begin to kill their children to eat that Nigerian governors of these people will know that they are not doing well? Now you are using their money to train your own child abroad, and their own child is not going to school. And tomorrow that child will enter bush to begin to collect small crude that is leaking from some of the old pipelines. Even though I know that they still bust some new ones. But if they should collect those small, why not legalize modular refinery? Let the governors use those money to purchase license from federal government to do modular refinery in some of these communities. Let the youth get some work to do. You don't give them job at the state level. You don't give them job at if I may call it private companies. Nothing for people. They are just there. What God bless them with, they are losing it.
All right.
It is inhuman. And if I unfortunately I don't have power to do that, but let those who have power begin to take these governors to court. Let them come and explain what they are doing with that 13% derivation.
Churchill,
yes.
Very quickly before we round up.
Please, first of all, I want to tell my brother Nze that modular refinery will not work because it's very, very harmful. It can cause fire outbreak that can burn down the same community. But one thing is that if our governors have conscience, they will know that yes, what they are doing is very, very bad. You cannot tell me from January till this month, this is August, that they've been giving you people money. That is people's money. It's not your allocation. That is people's money. And instead of you to create an avenue to look at modalities how to reach these people and develop their communities, they are keeping this money and using it for themselves. That of Delta States, look at 200 and something billion. It is very, very acclaiming. When I mean it is very, very acclaiming. But it is very well. By the grace of God, we are waiting for them somewhere. My own governor should release this money. My community is part of it. My community is part of that money. That money should be released to my community to develop my community. We have so many challenges. We don't have a civic center. We don't have all in my community. We need civic center. We have a place. We have so many things we need. People are hungry. Because if you see, our women does not go to farm again. They don't go to farm again.
Insecurity.
Yes.
All right. All right. Honorable Church, well, very quickly, when you talked about civic centers and all that, I don't think there are issues that 30% fund, derivation fund should be addressing. When you talk about civic centers,
it should be for development.
I think that's where you hold the local government chairman responsible, because these are grassroots infrastructure that you'd expect that a local government chairman and your House of Assembly members,
House of Rep, we have House of Rep for my community now.
That's what they should be doing for the community as community projects. But when you come to 13% derivation funds, you're looking at, you know, clearing of the community, the rivers that oil has spilled into you. We are not even talking about oil spillage into rivers, and they no longer have aquatic life. The farmers do not have anything to, they can't fish. Not only aquatic life being dead, it's also a source of income for fishermen, and that source of income is dead. Now you talk about the farms, that oil has soaked their farmland. Apart from the insecurity, that some of the arable lands, the women cannot actually access them anymore. How about the lands that are now oil soaked and, you know, cannot yield anything?
Like in ours, the lands that is